Hello friends and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we'll be talking about Snow Stomper and the teams that you can go and use so you can go and defeat the boss or get the highest rankings. Now I'm still doing these as free to play. I will not be covering lineups that are pay to win. But if I go into the future and we're gonna go and build every single unit, we're gonna go into similar strategies that will revolve around units that people paid for at the start and they transitioned with them into higher scores. Now, first of all, I want to say something. There's a major development, especially in the season. Many units are been shined and are doing insane amount of damage, such as Florabelle, Brian, and Reese. Keep in mind, Reese is the one to focus on. Reese is dealing insane amount of damages in PvP, in campaign, and especially in bossing, especially for Necrodraken and bosses that needs different utilities that you can't go and process them or use them to your advantage. This boss, Reese, does not deal the most insane damage, but he deals damage more than any other unit that are standing still in the lineup, because he walks and he evades sometimes the block of ice that the Snow Stompers throws. Sometimes Snow Stomper throws a snowball on Reese, Reese walking, and he will evade all of the damage. Zero damage will be taken. So this is something you need to keep in mind if you want to play a lineup like this. Now, let me be talking about this lineup. First of all, of course, I'm using this enlightening spell because it will allow me to not get silenced and get the buff straight up out of Coco to the lineup. Now, I was playing Cecilia in the backline, and Cecilia was getting the Snow or Mr. Carlisle first, and then I will get the shields or the buffs from Coco. It works. On early stages, it carried me into this stage. Now, in difficult, it's a little bit... Are we in difficult? I think we're in difficult. Yes, in difficult. It's not working the same as we did before, so I'm using Coco. Coco, you need it for survivability. Now, if you have Corrin and Marilee, these works perfectly, but because we're using Thorin and he's a must-have on this lineup, we're using him because he will not die immediately. If you want to change it and play something else, you can remove Thorin and you can play somebody like Kruger. But Kruger will not survive that much, and he will self-sustain, but not as much as Thorin. We're gonna go and test it, and I will show you how it works. And this is why you need always the Enlightening spell on Coco, especially when you are on lower accounts or your levels are low. You're not at, as I said before, when you get to 240, this will be cleared by this level, the difficult level. So let's go and check this lineup, and I will try and show you another lineup which is a little bit funny because I don't have the units built, but it's the best lineup for this. Somebody showed me and it works pretty fine. So let's go and check it out. So here we go. Kruger, he's getting the shield because of the seasonal buff and things and his passives at the start of the battle. He does his ultimate, so he will gain a little bit of HP. He gets the Coco buff, and he will go back to save our Odie without Mr. Carlisle, which has worked really good. Now he's taking a lot of damage from the boss without getting heals and sustain, but Coco will give us the buff again. We have Mr. Carlisle, and the boss will do his AoE damage, but he will not hit anybody. Hopefully he will not die here. We got the buff, a heal from Smokey, and this is the boss damage that he did. He's still surviving because auto attack from Kruger gives him survivability, and we didn't get aggro from the boss. Now the boss killed our Coco, which is really fine. We just need Mr. Carlisle, and here he's tanking a little bit. Smokey, can you heal a little bit? He couldn't heal. But we did the biggest damage right now with Kruger. If you can keep Kruger, and this was super RNG for me. Kruger doesn't survive that much, to be honest, on my runs. Could we break the 70%? We didn't. So you can go to the 70% with a little bit of RNG. If Smokey didn't got knocked back, we can get the healing from him, and we can improve our rankings and our damages. Of course, Odie is dealing the most amount of damage. Now Sia did a lot of damage right now, and as you see, Kruger does some damages because of what we used on our lineup, which is Kruger debuff. Now, if you're not using the Kruger debuff, and if you want to use Thorin for tanking, you're gonna lose on the 18% by 18%. So if you use Thorin here, we're gonna keep our 14 by 14, and Thorin will have 2 lives. It means he will tank for us even more. So let's go and check, does this work the same way that it worked with our previous lineup? Remember, 4% of attack is really huge, especially because now we're at later stages, and the flat attack translate into bigger amount of number by the multiplier of the percentage. So every 1% is better than having 100 attack or 200 attack. This is how you need to calculate it in your head. So we got some damage. Mr. Carlisle is down, and we got the buffs from Coco. Hopefully we're gonna get a little bit of heal from Smokey, and yep, we're already back up, and we're tanking good with Thorin. Thorin died, and he revived again, and he died immediately after that. This is why Thorin is good, but he's not the best for this lineup. Again, Mr. Carlisle is tanking a hit from Odie. Could we get to the 70% by this? I don't think so, because we will get one shot by the boss. This is Sia's face, and here we go. So a little bit better with a Kruger on the lineup. Now, something else that I wanted to test. So the thing here is we're gonna play Kruger this time because we're gonna get the 18 buff by 19 buff because of this. So what happens here is because we're using the Enlightening spell, Odie will stay remaining backline, and he will not get interrupted, stunned, or frozen, or whatever, or silenced. The thing is that we're not gonna get the buff of Coco immediately. So we can use here, instead of Coco, you can use Smokey. They played Coco, I will play Smokey. I like playing Smokey because of the heals that he will give at the start of the battle and the buffs that we get for attack. So let's go and try this out. Is this a better lineup? Is this a better scenario for us? Let's go and check it out. So Odie will stay in the backline. He will not transfer because the transferring him into the front line will be a control effect, but by our team. And this Enlightening spell negates all the control effects, whatever they are. So this is a really good way for you to use it in this stage. Now, can we get Smokey not to get knocked back? Of course, Odie took the hit, and he's still surviving. Now, can Smokey heal a little bit? Just give us one heal, little Smokey, please. Okay, and here we go. Smokey got some heals. Mr. Carlisle is moving a little bit more this time to the back line, but still, the full HP is for our Odie, and Odie is taking all the hits, but he's still recovering because of the buff or of the passive of Rainier. Rainier died, and here we go. We get hit, Mr. Carlisle, and still we're dealing good amount, relatively decent amount of damage. He's getting in the ball, and look at his HP. He's recovering HP as he's dying, so we're doing a little bit of damage. So this lineup works. It's pretty funny. It's really good. If you have a Thorin built up really good, or if you have a Kruger really good and built up, this lineup would work perfectly. This lineup was my design, but it was tweaked and enhanced by other players, my friends that we were testing, and it's really awesome. If you want to try it, it's really nice. Now here I was using this, and I was using Thorin. This was my idea when we were using this lineup, and he's still gonna get the 15%, not the 19%, but the link will be with Cecilia, so Cecilia will survive even better or even more. You can do it also with Smokey, and you can put Cecilia here. But what I recommend is play this lineup that I showed you right now. It's the same lineup, but I'm playing Kruger. If you have Kruger built up to Mythic Plus, he will have no problem surviving. He will survive even more. Now, they told me try it with Coco. I don't think Coco will survive that much or give us the buffs that we want, but we can try it. Let's go and try it and check how the damages would be. And here is the damages that are happening by Cecilia is not significant, but they are really good because she's our best option, let's say, unless you have a Marilee. Marilee, if she's built for Mythic Plus, she would do even better. Now we're gonna try Corrin after this, because somebody told me, how about you try Corrin instead of Cecilia, because Corrin deals 2 damage, give you shield and survivability, a little bit of healing. So we're gonna test this, and hopefully it would work. And here we go, Coco gave us the buffs for everybody, so we're dealing a good amount of damages. And also Odie is getting the buff, so Odie is dealing insane amount of damage. So here we are. Is Coco better than Smokey on the lineup? Coco died, Cecilia died, and now we will die with Rainier, and Smokey will get flipped a little bit. Yep, and here we go, a little bit of damage, and it was a little bit worse. So with this specific strategy, not playing Smokey, you're not gonna get the heals or whatever you want. So they told me play Corrin, so I'm gonna play Smokey again, and this time we're gonna play Corrin. And it's funny, I know it's funny. It's not the lineups that you would probably see normally that people play. Now, also you can play Marilee on this lineup if you don't want to play Odie, or if you want to play Odie but put him in a different scenario, like put Odie here and remove Smokey and play Marilee linked to Rainier, that would work as well. So here we go, again 19% because we have 3 molars and 1 hypogen, which count as a semi-molar. if we have another Mauler, I think it goes up more. So if we put like any random Mauler, how much do we get? 18%. No, so we get 19% by Rainier, which is even better because it will continue. It will have it as a half Mauler, half light bear. This is how the Hypogen calculation works. So let's go and check it out. Does this lineup work even better? We didn't change anything except we put Corin instead of Cecilia because he deals true damage and can keep us alive with his passives. Look at the shields. So I think that Kruger should survive even better, and anybody who goes low in HP should survive even better. So we can go and get by Smokey. Can we, Smokey, get a heal from Smokey, please, a little bit? And can we get a shield on Corin? And Corin jumped, got a shield. Come on, Smokey, heal a little bit, man. Okay, and here we go. We got a healing bomb from Smokey, which is really good. Smokey got knocked. Corin is getting knocked. Can't do his passive. He was silenced. Odie is getting dumped. Okay. So Mr. Carlisle is really important for this lineup. So again, why Cecilia worked with this lineup? We didn't do anything. We didn't change anything. And as you see, Corin does good amount of damage, but not as much as Cecilia did for our lineup. So if you remove him and play Cecilia. Now why Cecilia works with this lineup? Because she summons Mr. Carlisle and he can tank a little bit. The tanking option for Mr. Carlisle is really insane. Now we can't do this because he's in the last spot, so you need to put Odie on the last spot, and this is how it works. And use the enlightening spell. This is how you don't put Odie in risks and in the front line, because if he's on the front line, the boss will do the blow and he will start tanking by the end of the battle, which is really bad. Actually, you don't want him to be tanking. And yeah, that was it for the video. Let me know your opinions for these runs or for these bosses. This is a different strategy than the other videos, so I gave you something new. Hey, and thanks everybody for commenting and helping me with that. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, I thank you for watching, and as always, stay frosty. Peace.